he has this idealized standard of wealth and status and, you know, dating the most popular girl and having the most money and driving the coolest car, when those are things that are not as real. Hey guys, it's Kristen, and today we are talking about Netflix's new movie, The Perfect Date. Starring Noah Centineo as a high school student who creates an app to offer his services as a fake date to make money for college, things get a bit complicated when he starts having feelings for someone.
It's actually kind of funny that Noah has made a career out of being everyone's fake boyfriend, from Lara Jean to Sierra Burgess, and he's back at it again.
Give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing if you like my videos, and of course, drop down in the comments so we can talk about The Perfect Date. I can't wait to hear what you guys think. Let's start off with the good. First of all, I really enjoyed this cast. We have a lot of well-known young stars leading this film, including Noah Centineo, Laura Marano, and Camila Mendes. Brooks and Celia as characters had really great chemistry. I think that you could see right away that they had this immediate spark as friends, and you could kind of predict that that was going to lead to something else. And I think the standout for me in this film was Laura Marano, who I think just really captured Celia very well. I loved how sarcastic and confident she was, and I think that they were just a really great match together. And I did think that we didn't really get to see that much of Camila Mendes, but I think that was purposeful to kind of show that Brooks didn't know her at all, and there was no reason for him to be kind of going out of his way to, you know, impress this girl who he doesn't know and who doesn't know him, and who they live very different lives. I also really liked the relationship that Brooks had with his dad, because you could definitely see that they went on this journey as well of kind of Brooks feeling like his dad checked out, and then his dad kind of making all of this effort, and they both kind of come to their own realizations at the same time about life, and, you know, kind of come together as father and son in a really positive way. I also really liked that this story kind of went a bit to a deeper level and talked about these messages that you aren't necessarily expecting. He and his friend create this app so that he can help chauffeur around girls who need dates for different things like art shows or school dances as a way to make money so that he can go to Yale. But when you really kind of step back and look at the story on a deeper level, there is this more prominent message of status and figuring out who you are and not trying to change yourself to fit a mold. And also this idea of putting people on a pedestal that you don't really know because you think that they might be better than you. They really tackle that idea of like the haves and the have-nots, those who are wealthy, those who aren't, and the dynamic that Brooks puts upon himself when dealing with those scenarios. I really liked getting to see Brooks kind of go on this journey where he already feels bad about his identity and his life experience, and as he is pretending to be all these other people, he's kind of pushing his friends away, not seeing the person that's right in front of his eyes that would be the perfect match for him, because he has this idealized standard of wealth and status and, you know, dating the most popular girl and having the most money and driving the coolest car, when those are things that are not as real. They tackle the pressures of trying to get into the perfect college, and also that idea that these kids that are going into college right now are kind of going in just feeling this like pressure to have everything be perfect and get into an Ivy League and, you know, conform themselves into what they think they need to be. I thought it was really interesting that the idea of getting into Yale was so important to Brooks, and that was all he kind of stopped at, that he didn't even get to the point of thinking of what would he study, what is his dream. He just was stuck on that status symbol of Yale and didn't even think about what his own dreams were for the future. And as he continues with this app, he starts to learn more about himself and even learn about what true love is, which is someone that you can just talk to, someone that you connect with. And I think in the long run he learns that these status symbols of like wealth and popularity and cool cars doesn't really mean anything if you're not being yourself. And I think that that's like a really great message of kind of like shedding materialistic ideals and focusing on what's really important, which is your family and your friends and your own ambitions and loving yourself. I think when it comes down to it, the story is a bit predictable. You kind of have an idea going into it like, okay, this is gonna happen and this is gonna happen, and, you know, it's not gonna be what Brooks necessarily perceives is the right path, but then he's going to open his eyes and kind of realize, actually, this is where I should be going. And so the story is a bit predictable in that way, but I do think that they go on this journey that is a little bit different and quirky. The only thing that I wish that maybe we had seen a little bit more in this film was some more of the dates that Brooks went on, because I think it would have been fun to see Noah Centineo really tackle a lot of different personalities and roles to kind of fit the dates that the girls that he's going out with want to go on. We definitely got to see a couple of funny looks and a couple of moments where he really got to kind of put on his acting chops and show us something different, but I think it would have been fun to see a couple more of those.
The other thing that I thought that they could have addressed more in the film was when Brooks goes on this kind of elitist outburst during his fake breakup with Celia. I wish that she had actually told him how she felt and that she was upset by it, because they kind of let that moment go. But clearly he was tapping into some real raw emotions there, and I think that that should have had some kind of consequences in her at least expressing how she felt and letting him know that he really hurt her.
When it comes down to it, I really had a lot of fun watching The Perfect Date. I think that this is a film that really kind of shows that journey of trying to figure out who you are and also realizing that you don't need to have everything figured out right now. It's like a journey that you're gonna go on for the rest of your life. I think with Brooks we get to really see someone who is judging themselves and who doesn't accept who they are, and over time we get to see him learn that who cares if other people accept you? You're the one that needs to love and accept yourself. There's kind of this idea that there's something right in front of you and there's also something that's unattainable, and that what's in front of you might not be as bad as you think. It might be something that is worthwhile. You don't realize how great it is because it's right here, whereas you're putting this unattainable status on a pedestal that you have to change who you are for, and then that's not worth it. If you like this video, make sure to check out my other reviews over here and drop down in the comments to continue the conversation. I can't wait to hear what you guys thought about The Perfect Date. See ya!